Time travel. I don't know what that was. I love the movie Back to the Future, but there is no chance that a time-traveling DeLorean is going to suddenly appear in place of my 1998 Nissan Sentra that's going to allow me to go back and invest in Bitcoin and Google before they were barely worth anything. It doesn't really do me a whole lot of good to look back over all my woulda, coulda, shoulda moments in life, even though I have a lot of them.
You probably do too.
Now I make that barely relevant point to say that time is the most valuable thing you have. You will never get a single second of it back, so if you think that you're going to somehow overcome the laws of time and space, just remember that if you're anything like me, you probably can't even boil eggs without burning your house down. True story. This is why I'm sitting here in front of a camera in my bedroom imploring you to maximize every second of your life. And key point, I don't mean by just working endlessly, because that's a trap in and of itself that a lot of people fall for.
Got him!
Getting paid for as much of your life as possible is not the same thing as maximizing your life, contrary to popular belief. Working a lot is not the same thing as working hard, but nobody ever tells you that, right? I mean, my parents in particular never told me about the distinction between the two, and not because they wanted me to be obsessed with my jobs. Really more because they didn't know any better. They came from a generation where you find respectable work. You do it as long as you can and you try to make as much money as you can in the process. They looked at working a lot like it was a great virtue because idle hands are the devil's workshop. But when I think of working a lot, it makes me think of those old videos of the guys in the 1800s who are working on the steamships, just shoveling the coal into the raging hot furnaces. But for what? Work has become an abstract word for some bizarre reason in our modern human culture. Seemingly open to interpretation, we've developed the ideas that everyone needs a job and everyone's job is equally important, which is actually super wrong. Now, the virtue of hard work is as American a concept as apple pie, but somewhere over the last century, they replaced the word work with the word job, as in, I have a job, but also as in the more popular, I hate my job. I've said that a bunch of times. It's a textbook example of the old switcheroo, a tactic where a major idea flip-flops, but the people at the bottom are none the wiser. You and I being the people at the bottom. Now, it shouldn't be a shock to you that the government only sees you as valuable by what you can consume. I mean, they call us consumers by their definition. And when I think of consumers, it makes me think of the worst thing possible. Because we've been so conditioned into this grass is always greener mentality that no matter what we have, it is perpetually never good enough. But this is a conversation about time, so getting back on course. But the greatest question of all time is, how do you make people willingly sell you their lifetime? The answer is FOMO. Fear of missing out keeps us in our jobs, trading our time for money so that we can keep buying. I'm not at all surprised that a culture so overwhelmed with abundance as ours has become, but I am surprised that there are so few people who talk about it. And every time I bring it up, people talk to me like I'm diarrheaing all over the working man or people who don't have as many options. I guarantee you I'm not. I just know that there are a lot of stupid people that think that most of the world's problems can be solved with money. And call me crazy, but I don't think that the modern man and the modern woman has a money problem. I think that we have a value problem. And I mean value as in we have no idea what our lives are worth or what is even worthwhile. And instead of figuring these things out, television and the internet has provided us with perfectly algorithm catered distractions to keep us flooded with dopamine so that we can sit and think about how we actually feel about anything apart from the real-time feed of opinions and information about everything that's going on in every single corner of the world on a second-to-second basis. Maybe the answer is in us taking our time back to get in touch with ourselves. Maybe the answer is in turning off the notifications and all the beeps and chirps that alert us to every insignificant detail that happens on a minute-to-minute basis. Or maybe the answer is for us to stop looking at each other like we're in constant competition for everything so that we're always looking on the horizon for what new thing we should buy or what new thing we should do. I don't think it's radical for me to tell you that you don't need more stuff, you need more time. And you're not going to get any more time than the life that you have, so you have to take your time back. If you're throwing your time away, you will be miserable, regardless of how much stuff you can buy in the process. Guaranteed. Maximizing your time means working hard, but also working effectively to accomplish something that is unique and innate to you. It means that you make a plan for your own life, and then you spend your time focusing on that mission, that plan first and foremost. Now, when you think about your age, you probably think about how much time has elapsed since the day you were born.
Well, duh.
I mean, who doesn't do that? Maybe you're 15 years old and you have your whole life ahead of you. Maybe you're 25 and you're super upset because you don't have everything figured out yet. Or maybe you are a baby at 35 years old who just began your promising career as a YouTuber and clothing brand startup. It does not matter where you are, only what you are doing. Start looking at your life like, how much time do I have left? And then realistically think about how much longer you have to live. Begin with the end in mind and think about the kind of life that you want people to remember you for and what you want to accomplish. Don't be scared. And if that doesn't inspire you to really value your time, then you're just doomed, I guess. I know it sounds morbid and scary, but this is life we are talking about. Not some crappy Netflix series that you're going to binge watch 3 seasons of and throw away 2 weeks of your life just to be entertained. Now hang on, because if you're one of the many people who say that there's nothing wrong with entertainment and working all the time is bad, I actually agree with you, kind of. If you want to just be entertained and sleep through your life, it is your prerogative. I won't hold anything against you. And there definitely is value in taking time to stop and smell the roses. But there are a lot of us who realize that people get old before they realize it and they die before they're ready. And we will be doing something very different with our time. And we will get very different results. When you get to the end of your life, maybe you'll be glad that you spent all your time working the drive-thru at Starbucks. And maybe you'll be super proud that you watch every episode of Hoarders. I just seriously doubt that. Don't throw your time away.
Don't throw your time away.
This is as close to begging as I'm gonna get. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing now. So the only real choice you have in life is now or never. So get out there and do it now.